Never shall innocent blood be shed, yet the blood of the wicked shall flow like a river. The three shall spread their blackened wings and be the vengeful striking hammer of God. You people have been chosen to reveal our existence to the world. You will witness what happens here today, and you will tell of it later. All eyes to the front. You must watch, dear. It'll all be over soon.
Now you will receive us! We do not ask for your poor or your hungry. We do not want your tired and sick.
It is your corrupt we claim.
It is your evil that will be sought by us.
With every breath, we shall hunt them down.
Each day, we will spill their blood till it rains down from the skies.
Do not kill, do not rape, do not steal. These are principles which every man of every faith can embrace.
These are not polite suggestions. These are codes of behavior. And those of you that ignore them will pay the dearest cost.
There are varying degrees of evil. We urge you lesser forms of filth, not to push the bounds and cross over into true corruption, into our domain.
For if you do, one day you will look behind you and you will see we three. And on that day, you will reap it.
And we will send you to whatever God you wish.
And shepherds we shall be, for thee, my lord, for thee. Power hath descended forth from thy hand. May swiftly carry out thy command. So we shall flow river forth to thee, and teeming with souls shall it ever be.
In nomine Patri.
Et Filii, Spiritus Sancti.
How far are we gonna take this, Star?
The question is not how far. The question is, do you possess the Constitution? The depth of faith to go as far as is needed?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Guys,
Hey, what are we not going to talk about tonight?
Geopolitics. That's how I might answer that question.
Oh, yes. Events happening on the other side of the world. We're not talking about that. Everyone else is, but I bet people are sick of talking about it. But then again, they're going to go and listen to more crap about that tomorrow. We're going to give you a reprieve from that. So, our topic tonight is 5 flavors of male delusion about women. About women. And if you looked at our thumbnail, it says laid savors, as in to savor the taste. What is the primary motivation of young men?
Well, the primary motion of young men is to get laid, although the Christians would say to get married, although the purpose of getting married for a lot of young men in the church is to get laid.
Right. I know it sounds crude.
Exactly.
Hey, I was that age. I was that age in high school, college. You know,
Same
what was
here,
on
brother.
my mind all the time with raging hormones.
Yep. It's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then, since men spent all their time focused on that goal, they come up with various strategies. I'm going to call those flavors. What flavor are you going to take? Which one's going to motivate you? It could be more than one. But I'm going to go through 5 of the main ones. That doesn't mean there's not more. But yeah, we're going to go through some examples. We're going to play 5 videos, and they're fairly short. Some are really short, some are somewhat short.
So, Steve, we're not going to have a 20-point checklist with like 50 items on a chart.
That's not my style.
It has its uses.
You know what? I'm using the KISS principle, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Hey, Plutarch, you know what we just did, right?
Sorry, I was getting the video set up and I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I said to Steve, it's not 20 to 50 points with all these details and all these various charts.
Were you picking on me?
Oh,
No,
shit. Not you.
someone in your
particularly, but
household,
yeah,
though.
kind of.
Oh. Oh, okay. I will make sure she gets this and clips this just for her. So, and then not so that because she won't post it, but just so that she can review and watch it. And
Oh, some good natured jabbing. That's all it is.
Exactly, yeah.
she'll survive.
Yeah.
So, the first flavor. I don't think I'm going to reveal all 5 flavors at the beginning. You're just going to have to tune in and listen. And then, in the privacy of your own home, you can raise your hand and say, damn, sounds like me. I did that. The first delusion is the nice guy. Plutarch, are you ready to pull up those videos, the links I sent you?
You want the Orion Teraband one first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one of my favorite songs. Nice guys finish last. Yep.
We'll turn up the speed a little bit. All right. You want me to just go for it?
Yeah.
Ryan Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is why nice guys finish last. So this will be a continuation of my previous episode entitled Women Want It All. So if you haven't watched that already, you should start there. In that episode, I discussed how, according to the research, while attractive women want everything, they don't want everything equally. And apparently, among the attributes they are most willing to dispense with in their potential partners are intelligence, loyalty, and kindness. Today, I'm going to explain why nice guys, smart, loyal, and kind guys finish last. Or, which is really just the other side of the same coin, why women love assholes. Now, it's not actually true that women love assholes, but I'm going to explain how this belief originated using conclusions from the research. But before I do so, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It takes less than a second. It costs. Guys, I'm going to help you understand why it's not actually true that women love assholes. To do this, let's entertain a little thought experiment. Let's say you could work at 2 different companies, okay? At one company, you would have this really awesome boss. Like the boss really cares about you, supports your goals, invests in advancing your career, understands when you need to take time off, and values your perspective. I mean, this boss has all the best intangibles, okay? So that's one possibility. However, at the other company, you would have a boss who frankly doesn't give a shit about your dreams and your goals and is really just interested in using you for the labor that you can provide. But he pays you 3 times as much, gives you unlimited time off, and offers an amazing benefit package. Which company are you going to work for? The vast majority of folks are going to be willing to put up with this boss not caring about them if they got everything else they wanted for the job. They're not choosing the job because the boss is an asshole. They're choosing the job because the salary and benefits are best. The fact the boss there just happens to be an asshole is incidental. I hope this is starting to make sense. Okay, so by their own admission, women are not prioritizing kindness, loyalty, and intelligence in their search for a partner. Just like you're probably not going to prioritize, say, a company's mission statement in your search for the job. It would be great if you aligned in that respect, but it's not going to be your highest or even one of your highest priorities. Women are going to go with the most attractive compensation package, and it's for them to decide what constitutes the most attractive compensation packages. Ultimately, this means they typically end up at the high-paying second company. And what happens to the bosses at the first companies around the world? These bosses can't offer a competitive package based on what women actually value. This means they can't compete in the looks department. They can't compete in the income department. They can't compete in the provision department. They can't compete in the emotional connection department. So what do? They focus on the few departments in which they can compete successfully with the second boss in an effort to feel superior to the men that the women actually choose as a means of assuaging their egos. And what are some of these departments? I don't know, maybe kindness, intelligence, and loyalty? You know, nice guy traits. However, if we actually take the results of this study at face value, women don't care about these things nearly as much as they care about other things, my dude. It is what it is. The idea that women are choosing men who are assholes is really a consequence of an unwillingness to look at why women actually choose men without judgment or moralizing. They're not choosing assholes, my friend. They're choosing good-looking, high-earning, interesting, and exciting lifestyle providers. And if they happen to be loyal and intelligent, even better. But they're not actually sorting for those things primarily. Do you understand? Fighting against this constitutes a failure to look at the way things actually are. And when people do this, they move further and further away from reality.
Okay.
I think we got the point there.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree. There's a few caveats that I think all of us would probably agree upon if we together about it. But yeah, nice guys finish last. There's a Green Day song. Nice guys finish when you run out of gas, and I don't know their lyrics. But anyways,
Well, so
songs. I don't remember lyrics for the crap. So
look, it's here's the thing. Yeah, I yes, women do prioritize for looks, but Orion would admit that women do. You know, there's a basket of things they're looking for. Women are looking for the best they can get, right? And that's expected.
hypergamy.
Yeah,
Hypergamy?
hypergamy much exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is what it is.
so Well, okay, but what did the and Steve, you can back me up on this. What did the red pill used to say? Well, if you don't have one of these things, if if you're not very intelligent, maybe you need to up your humor game a little bit, right? If you there are ways to compensate for not having something by being something else, right? Okay. So if you don't have the looks and you're never going to have the looks, okay, what are you going to well, just be okay, make more money,
Hey,
right?
wait a minute.
The women are hookers?
But can't she see that I'm just the nicest guy she's ever met? I treat her well. I'm not gonna go out and cheat on her. I'm puppy dog loyal. I'm kind.
Uh,
I I listen to her. I support her emotions. And I'm really going to school to get a good education, to make a lot of money. I'll be the best provider in the world. Why can't she just love me?
all I heard was you're weak. Look, I get told routinely that I'm an asshole. I've had family members tell me that I'm an absolute raging asshole to Elena. Okay? That I should be less mean to her. And honestly, with some of them, I just kind of roll my eyes and go, yeah, got it. That, yeah, I know. Just to get them to shut up kind of thing. Because I know it doesn't work. I tried it in my first marriage, didn't work. Am I am not vicious with Elena. I am not mean for the sake of being mean.
Take
I
too much energy out of a man.
God, yes, absolutely. Do, do you know how much energy it takes to consciously think about ways to destroy somebody and then do those things? That's like work. I am just not saccharine sweet with her. I am not that. She actually hates that, by the way, guys, and most Slavic women do. They hate it because it's weak coded to them. Um,
Yeah, don't.
but
But this is the lie that all your mothers tell their sons, especially
mm,
single mommies, tell their
oh
sons.
God, yes.
This is the bull crap the schools will feed you, that the public knowledge will feed you. Um, and we'll get to it, but even the church, I'll just leave it there. Same message doesn't work. She'll be drier than a freaking desert if you ever try to enter that bedroom with her. If you marry one, drier than the freaking desert. The biggest, actually very unsupportive, very rebellious. How do I know? It's not like I didn't try to manage the house, but there's some religious stuff behind that. Well, let's just say we'll get to the church. The church enforces making good men into simpy, nice guys that women hate, even though that's what they cry out they want, but their actions say something else. And
I
by the
need to
way,
point out
there's a
something
book I
here.
want to recommend, No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the entry point. So you can read it, you can identify, but you have to actually take it to heart. It's going to take you a couple of years to process through that in constant vigilance. And from that book, you will learn that a nice guy is kind of dishonest. First, he's dishonest with himself. And we, recovering nice guys, have learned because we had this belief. Well, I can be a nice guy or I can be a mean guy. Wrong way to frame the issue. A nice guy is not equal or equivalent to being a good man?
Hey, Steve, can I
Give
just
up
stop you
the
right
nice
there?
guy. Yes, go ahead.
Because if you actually, you just reminded me of something. If you actually talk to women about nice guys, they almost universally describe them as creeps, or they give them the ick, and they don't describe the asshole that way. And when you press on that a little bit, what the women are actually describing is that the nice guys are covert, not just assholes. The nice guys are meaner. Okay. And it's not that they're
Yeah.
it's go I mean, go ahead. But it's
It's disingenuous. A nice guy is a mask. Okay. Oh, this happened. Now, what can I say? Oh, how about if I say this? This will keep me out of trouble if I say it this way. How do I have to act to not provoke her
oh,
so she'll
Steve,
love me and to
are,
support her? Blah, blah, blah.
are you saying that nice guys are more prone to lying?
Yes, I am.
Oh. So the asshole who doesn't lie to her is perceived as a higher quality man than the nice guy who does lie to her. Whoa.
Who would have thought that?
This is a topic that bothers me particularly because I get so much crap from people over how I treat Elena. And the thing is, she'd never say I'm mean. She will never say I'm mean to her. Because I'm not. I can be harsh, and occasionally we yell, we scream it out a little bit. It's very rare though, a couple times a year. But she does not think that I am going to be intentionally mean to her for the sake of being mean.
I'll give you some Nick stories. We've talked about these a few times. You know, the nice guys, everybody's like, oh, she's so pretty, blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting there with my friend. I'm just having a beer, having a good time. I don't give a crap. So, for one instance, this girl approached me. I didn't even remember who she was. She remembered the exact day and time, what I was eating months later. I'm like, I don't even remember who you are. It's like, yeah, you're such an a-hole. Duh. And then she kept talking and talking and just sat next to me. Da, da, da. I'm like, apparently I must have rejected her the time before and I still rejected her again. But was I being the nice? Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, can I have your number? Oh, da, da, da. Just, oh, my lady. Hell no. Okay. The other time, I've said this one before. Girls in, all the guys are flocking around here, and I'm just like, whatever. Like, what the hell just walked in? I said, and everybody's just trying to be nice and trying to make their move, and I could give two craps, right? I say, hey, why are you dressed like a whore? She comes over, grabs my phone, puts her number in my phone.
But Nick, that's mean. How dare you say that to my lady?
It was true. She dressed like a freaking tramp, just like she had like no clothes on. I'm like,
You were the only one of that group who was not showing her deference.
yeah,
So you were the only one showing strength. That's why she forced her phone number into your phone.
yeah. And my friends were all laughing at me for a few weeks about So that didn't have the effect you wanted. I'm like, no, it didn't. That's kind of funny.
But modern society, single mother homes are foisting this upon young men. Oh yes, just be nice and you will find your woman. Oh yes, women just they want a nice guy. No, they want a masculine dominant man who's somewhat indifferent to be nice to them sometimes. That's completely different. And this what trope that happy wife, happy life, that's just promoting this whole nice guy thing. And it is your, well, you pursue that, guess what? First thing is no sex if you're married. If you're single and you pretend to be the nice guy, oh, you will be friend zoned. Or you will give women the ick. Or, when they hit the wall, oh, okay, yeah, you can be the beta provider for a while until they have a kid or two and they just get sick of you because they don't have respect for the nice guy. Lack of respect develops into contempt, and then they just have to get away from that icky nice guy.
And by the way, some guys can start off not being the nice guy. They can be what you call in their frame, have their mission, doing well. Not the nice guy, but then there's this thing called betazization by 1,000 confessions, where over time he loses frame and he's a yes dear, happy wife, happy life. He just going along to get along, and his friends will look at him like, "What happened to?" And a lot of times the wife will leave him. They
And
become
got
the nice guy over time, but not initially.
and guys, Elena shit tests me all the time on exactly what Nick's talking about. Does he still have the quick comeback? Is he still going to discipline me? All the time, guys. Like, this shit never ends. So
She's testing. Is he on his mission?
Mhm.
Or is he on her mission?
Correct. Now, part of the test is she will tell you that she doesn't like the fact that for all you working guys out there, who have jobs, she'll tell you she doesn't like that you spend so much time at the office, that you should spend more time with the family. That's a shit test. Okay. Does she consciously think that having you around more would make her life easier? Yes, she does. Okay. Because her girlfriends have told her that having the guy around more will make her life easier.
Team woman.
Yeah, correct. Never discount Team Woman's effect on how women choose to go about doing these shit tests. But the more you actually do it, the more she will resent you for it, precisely because you deferred to her. The moment you defer to your woman, she goes, "Aha, you're weak."
This is not conscious.
Correct.
It's just instinctual. She has no idea what she's doing, and she has no idea that when she gets what she wants or caused or asked for, that it makes her unhappy. She has not the first clue about that.
But my girlfriend said that it would make me happy. They said it made them happy.
Yeah. Don't believe what women tell other women. Well, we got 4 more to go through.
All right.
So, the next one, we're going to have fun with this one. The religious guy. Now, I just did a simple YouTube search.
We've all been there.
And
all three of us.
And
Yes.
I found a Catholic guy talking about this. Now, forget about whether he's Catholic or Protestant, doesn't matter. It does not matter in the least. The Protestant guys think the same way, but we're gonna make fun of Catholics tonight.
And I also want to put
Equal
another
opportunity offenders.
well, and another asterisk, guys. Orthodox guys think the same way as the Catholic guys do.
A beautiful, wonderful, holy Catholic woman. Well, there's bad news and good news. The bad news is if you're here, it's probably because you're making one of the mistakes that I'm about to discuss. But the good news is I can show you how to fix those mistakes relatively simply and with not that much effort so that you can easily and with great aplomb, I love that word, attract the Catholic woman of your dreams. But before I share all of that with you, I first want to say that you're playing a rigged game. Right now, the numbers and
Can I just say that this guy looks like every youth pastor meme ever?
Yeah, the guitar, acoustic guitar, and the casual clothing.
Okay, I'll keep going. I was
a youth pastor for a brief time. Although I wouldn't call it pastor; they give it director because I wasn't ordained when I did it. But I was.
he just
You're up to
just
date.
gives me that vibe.
in the Catholic Church are predominantly female, which means the ratios are in your favor. I also want to say that you should be confident in being yourself because if you're Catholic and you believe that God already knows who you're going to marry, well, believe that God is cultivating a desire in your future spouse's heart for you particularly. So I'll tell you how to be super attractive to Catholic women in just a second. But first, I want to say that when I met my wife, she had been praying for me years in advance. And some of the things that she had been praying for were found in me specifically. For example, I have a great relationship with my mom. That's one of the things that she had prayed for. She also prayed that I would be able to teach
Red flag right there.
her the faith. Well, before I was doing this, I was actually teaching Catholic theology. And there are other things like that. I won't bog you down with the details, but the point is God is already shaping your spouse's heart for you individually. God is already cultivating a desire for you within your future spouse. So don't be afraid. God's in charge. God's in control. God knows.
Here's the spiritual guru crap. You take God's holiness and then you say, "Oh, but He's directing it for all these special people, and you're very special too." Don't you know the plans I have for you? Da, 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 da. Oh, that's my life verse. Never forget it has a specific context and application and specific people,
The red flag I called out, she said, "Oh, my wife wanted me to have a great relationship with my mom." There's nothing wrong with having a great relationship with your mom. But when a woman asks for that specifically, what she's really saying, not what she's really saying is, I want somebody who will sublimate themselves, who will submit themselves to the woman. That's the red flag. The red flag is not that you have a good relationship with your parents. You should. The red flag is a woman specifically asking for. Notice how he didn't talk about his relationship with his dad, which, by the way, is the more important relationship for marital outcome. Okay.
Correct. I also want to point out here that God's providence does direct and ordain all things whatsoever comes to pass. God is in control. That doesn't mean that, hey, I'm always going to bless you with this woman that you marry. And that, by the way, she's been praying for specifically you, and you're that guy. Okay,
Wait, hold
God
on
can
there,
use the
Nick.
prayers, but look, while she's praying for you, that doesn't mean she hasn't been effing every guy on the block.
Wait a minute, Nick. I thought on the day you were born, God had a plan for you.
Yes, he does, but I don't know what it
And
is.
he has you predestined to
Absolutely.
meet this woman who will be your
Sure.
wife. And she's been
Sure.
pining after you since she could first think. And she is the woman for you and praying for all your traits that you have. And she is your perfect match. And this is ordained by God to happen.
Okay, Steve, few things. I know it's tongue in cheek. There's some truth in what you said. She doesn't know who you are. A lot of times these women are blown through, and they might even hide it in the church. Okay. These women find them in the church. If you find them, you got to find them really young. Okay. Um, and with a father figure. Another thing, look, they've messed with the bad boys and they've been praying. I'm going to do it right this time. I got to find a guy according to Jesus, and all my feminist Christian sisters that tell me I have this checklist of all the traits he has to be, and I'm going to go shopping for him. And I will find the best simp ever that loves Jesus and tells me, and no, doesn't tell me what to do, but does what I want him to do without him knowing what I want. And if I tell him what he wants, if he's a good leader, he'll do what I want.
You know, here's the thing. I was poking fun at this. God has this mate designed for you. Well, 2 generations ago, maybe 3, in my family lineage, the women that were born on the farm that I grew up on found their husbands within 5 miles. This is rural Minnesota. Do you know there were within 5 miles, there were maybe, I don't know, we'll call it 100 farms at that time, because each, farm was 160 acres, so there'd be 4 farms per square mile. So we'll call it 100. They found their mate, God's chosen mate, within 5 miles. And now in our modern world, there's so damn many people that God has a hard time finding you that mate that you're looking for. And instead of finding it at 18 or 16 or 20, it might take you till you're 30, and that mate might be on the other side of the world. And
Where they have to
he's got to bring you together. So, okay, this whole thing is absurd. The point
Yes, I
is,
agree, Steve.
there are numerous people who you are generally compatible with who could be your spouse. You meet them at a young age, and okay, you get married, ideally, and then you form this union. And by the fact of being married and all, social pressures and all that, you kind of figure it out and conform to each other. But the husband has to be the leader, and it worked. Well, nothing is working today. Does God have too many choices of people out there for you that it takes him too much time to bring that special person into your life? Or is this whole thing just kind of poppycock?
We should go ahead, Luther.
I was just there's a dark side to this messaging too here. Because what this guy is describing is that there is this one perfect person in the world who God has set aside for you. Okay. And
One
Steve,
itis.
I'm go ahead, Nick.
One-itis.
Well, yes, totally one-itis. And I'm riffing off what Steve said. There's really actually a lot of people who you're generally compatible with. But what this guy is pushing here is really Jesus is my boyfriend for men. Okay? He's trying to say that really what he ends up saying is really there's this one perfect woman out there who God has designed just specifically for you. Bullshit. Nowhere in the Bible is that actually said. He's making this shit up. Okay?
And by the way, how many, with, historically with infant mortality and I don't know the term for it, but the mortality with women giving birth, a lot of them died and a lot of men remarried. So which one was his soulmate? Which woman was it? The third wife?
Nick, you're not supposed to ask questions like that because in this modern day we don't suffer those problems. So clearly, the God of today is the only God that there ever has been.
Okay, come on now. We got to keep watching this guy so we can riff on his next thing.
Okay.
Knows everything. He loves you and he wants what's best for you, and he's going to take care of it every step of the way. That being said, maybe God wants to use this video as a way for you to become more attractive so that you can end up finding your wife and starting your vocation. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to be more attractive to women is get off of social media. Let me explain why. Whenever you're on a screen all day, you're probably looking at people who look like models. And you're probably looking at people who look like models in perfect lighting with lots of editing and Photoshop. So if you're constantly scrolling through and looking at Instagram models, the women around you aren't even going to seem appealing. And if you want to be attractive to other women, you have to have some desire, some gusto, some freaking testosterone, man. So get off of social media. It's killing your focus and it's killing your drive. It's bad for you. So once you do that and you're actually able to see reality as it is and see women the way that they are, it's going to be much easier to engage with them because you won't have this false idea of what women should be in your head from Instagram. Okay, so that's the first thing, is get your eyes right, get your sight right, get your mind in line with reality before you even try to have a conversation with women. And listen, side note here, if you struggle with lust and viewing disgusting images online, stop it. Stop it. It's bad for you.
Okay, Nick. What do you find ironic?
He says, get your mind right with reality. I'm like, dude, you're so far from reality right now. You have no idea. It's actually like men are these guys, Instagram models. Men don't give a crap about. Look at us right now, okay? I have the most horrible lighting. Yeah, I work out. I'm not like the most looks maxing guy out there. Steve's old and look at his forehead.
And I mean, I've described myself as a late 30s balding man because it's true.
It's what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's the women actually that are on social media that they put all these filters on. A lot of them look like Instagram models. They're all on a lot of them are on OF. And look, go on social media. It's a way to generate. Guys go on. Yeah, some simp look for chicks, whatever. A lot of guys go on. They try to put out ideas, influence culture, connect with like-minded people. Okay, get off social media. That's what you should be telling the women, right? Okay.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I could go on social media and I'd see all these women and I'd go, oh my God, holy shit. She's vapid. She's high maintenance. I want nothing to do with a woman like that. Yeah, she kind of looks good, but damn. I can't, no. No, give me just a down-to-earth woman. He seems to think men are going to look at all these beautiful women out there, and then that's all they want. Bullshit.
I think he's buying into the feminist narrative that men are slaves to their eyes, and it's like this ratchet effect. Well, if I see a 7, then that's the lowest I saw an 8, that's the lowest I can have. No, saw a 9, that's the lowest I can accept. Men are we're not like that. On this subject specifically, Elena was not the prettiest girl I talked to when I was, because we met on one of those passport broing websites for passport bros. Okay. She was not even close to the prettiest one that I talked to. She wasn't the ugliest, but she wasn't the prettiest.
Okay. Elena is very attractive. She's a great woman. Long hair, thin, kind of got a little bit of that girl next door vibe. But she is by no means an HB10. And a lot of Slavic women are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
yes.
That's how I'm describing it.
Yeah. No, and the reality is as we know in the red pill, most guys will not go after the 9s and 10s. Anyway, they're either too scared or, they tell themselves these stories about how these women have all the guys they could possibly want. What do they, and so, but this guy's treating looks as if it's some sort of ratchet. Like I can, if I see a 9, I can only ever want a 9 or better. It's like, that is not how any of this works.
And he's all about performance, and what you do behind the scenes determines if God is going to favor you. So let's keep watching, because now he's going to do his anti-porn thing.
I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it's a struggle for a lot of young men, but other people who are less driven and less gifted than you have done it. You can do it. And in fact, you must do it if you want to be a good husband and father, and you want to actually inspire and lead your wife rather than just dragging her to hell. And I've got lots of other videos about how to overcome that specifically, so you can look at my channel for that. But we're going to keep going on now to point number 2. Look, do you know what women love even more than physical appearance sometimes? It's somebody who's interesting, who can have a really, really good conversation with them. So this is how you have interesting conversations. Ready? You do interesting things.
Here, I actually kind of agree with him.
You can do interesting things, but go ahead, Plutarch. I'll say what I have to say later.
Being an interesting person is not going to solve your problem if you are obese. I'm sorry, it's just not. Okay. But, maybe you're a little, a little light on the hair upstairs. Maybe you're not rocking a 6-pack. Maybe you're rocking, maybe you've got just a little bit of the tire thing going on, but not too much, right? Then yes, being interesting can overcome some of that. Okay. So, and how do we describe being interesting? Well, game would be a red pill description of that. And game is necessary. Game actually it encompasses more than just being an interesting person. But,
Be thirsty, my friends.
What?
Okay.
Oh, be
Okay, now Nick took this the other way. Nick, what's your thoughts?
Oh, just be conversational. Communication is key. Just talk about her, all her wants, and hell no. Tease her. Slightly insult her.
Yes.
But not in a mean way, but kind of a teasing way.
Oh, game.
Tell her no. Walk away for a bit and come back.
So let me summarize this. Plutarch heard the part about a guy needs to be on his own mission for him to be interesting. Very true. Nick heard the part where this guy kind of seems to be saying a guy needs to be interesting to attract a woman in order to relate to her. And so she will see him as valuable, and then he can cater to her wants and needs. So that one way of looking at it is being needy. The other way of looking at it is being indifferent.
Never do the
So let's
needy, guys.
let's continue.
God has designed people to have some free time and some leisure. And with that leisure, you should spend time doing things that are awesome, that you enjoy, that are something that you can have a conversation with people about. So what do you like to do? Do you like to go to the gym? Do you like to go hiking? Do you like to write? Do you like to sing? What do you like to do? Spend more time doing that. Spend more time doing interesting things. And then whenever you have a conversation with a woman, be like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing well. What do you like to do for fun? You'd be like, well, let me tell you, I love to go skydiving. I love to do this. I love to do it's something interesting. And immediately she's going to look at you and go, wow, that's really cool. And she's going to remember you as the guy that does skydiving or whatever it is. So if you struggle in conversation with women, which by the
think
way is
that's really
probably
fun
the
to
best
do.
way to attract women, is just
Crap about women.
It's an effective strategy, as you well know, Nick.
Oh, that's another way to say leave me the hell alone. But they don't.
Okay, so here's my recommendation to Nick. Nick, what do you like to do? Nick says, well, my hobby is insulting women.
Exactly.
Ooh, tell me more.
It'll work, guys.
It does.
subtle conversation. And this is how you beat it. You do interesting things. And let's say that you're not really into doing much of anything. You don't have many hobbies. You're kind of an introvert. That's okay. You can still
Whoa. What's that?
read interesting things. So if somebody asks you what you've been doing in your free time lately and you say, oh, I've been reading War and Peace, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. Well, if that person's your wife, she's probably going to have common interests with you, which means maybe she's read War and Peace and she loved it, because how can you read War and Peace and not love it? Or maybe she wishes she had read it, in which case you just opened the door to a
War and Peace is such a slog. This guy is just tagging himself as he is an NPC. He reads the right books because other people told him those were the right books to read, kind of person. Right? This guy doesn't think for himself at all.
But, oh, how about this, Plutarch? You tell a woman, I am into theology, and I've read all these theology books, and let me tell you about the theology that I've learned. She's just going to get wet for you, right?
I can hear the winds of the Sahara Desert blowing through the stream right now.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work for me.
That does not work for any man.
They must know I'm trying to get rid of them when I do that.
Well, okay, there you go, Nick. That's how you get rid of them. Start talking about the theology of the finer theological points of Dabney, and just
Done it.
a wonderful, deep, rich, philosophical conversation. So in order to get better in conversation with women, you either have to do interesting things or read interesting things, and you'll always have material to talk about. And then as a side note to this, yes, do and read interesting things, have interesting things to say, but also really learn to listen. Listen to what she's saying and then repeat some of it back to her just so she knows that she feels heard, because women have more emotional brains than men. Sorry, it's just true. So a woman may not remember exactly all the details of everything you said.
okay. I'll put it to you this way, guys. Do I listen to Elena? Yes. With about a quarter of my ear, and even then, not very much. And mostly I end up just saying no.
You're not being emphatic enough, or
Empathetic. Yeah.
empathy. Yeah, whatever.
You're right. I'm not. You know what I'm also not? I'm not her girlfriend.
Exactly.
It is not my job to be her empathy sounding board.
Now, here's the problem with listening. Because I'll tell you, I tried to listen. I actually did a good job listening. Okay, she's talking. I'm listening. Okay, I want to understand. Goes on for 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm still listening. Goes on for 5 minutes. Yep, I'm still listening. Now I'm beginning to wonder, okay, what's the point?
30 minutes later.
Yep, okay. I'm trying to track through this. Where's she going with this? I don't know. 7 minutes in. Yeah, we're going in circles. Oh, now she's backtracking. Now I'm confused. Where's this going? I don't know where it's going. And she keeps talking and talking. And after 15 minutes, I have no fucking clue what I was listening to or what the point was, where this is going, or how to respond.
And you never will. Because that wasn't the point.
Yeah.
A lot of
there's a nail in your head.
I know, but I just want to talk about the headache. If you don't take the nail out, I just want to talk about the headache. A lot of times what I'm doing with Elena is I'm just listening. I will go back to work while she's telling the story, and I'm listening for the points that I need to care about, and I just drop the rest of it. Like, I don't remember. And here's the thing. It's not a problem. It's never been a problem. Why? Because if there was some critical detail I missed, she is more than happy to tell me the story in detail again.
Where this guy gets it wrong, where most men, nice guys, any man, especially this religious guy, listening to women, no, don't focus on listening to a woman's words. What you need to do is listen to her emotions. She's yammering on. She doesn't know what she's thinking. She's just emoting. Identify with her emotions, and her words really don't matter that much. And if you cannot tap into her emotions and then just throw out something that says you understood her emotions, she will think you are the best guy out there. But you didn't expend a lot of energy trying to track through some convoluted word salad.
I've done that. It works, guys. And it cost me a lot less energy to do it.
But she will remember if she felt safe and heard and understood when she was with you. And women love that. Okay, on to the third point. This is super practical, and every single man below the age of 40 needs to hear this. Listen, you need to get into elite shape. You need to get into radically strong, unnecessarily strong shape. Why do I say that? Well, in my early 20s, I hit the gym for hours a day, and I loved it. I put on a ton of strength and a ton of muscle. Now I'm a busy dad, and I get to the gym on a good week 3 times. I just can't get there as much. But it's really easy for me to maintain my muscle mass and maintain my physique because I've already done all the work early in my 20s. So if you're a young man, get in the best shape of your life now, and you'll be able to carry that with you for the rest of your life pretty easily without much maintenance. My wife and I were talking about this, and we coined it the rock effect. What we mean by that is whenever somebody walks into a room and you can tell that they work out, they're strong, they're well composed, they have their shoulders back, and they sit up and stand up straight, that demands your attention, and it's a little bit attractive. So whenever you can get into that kind of shape, you've already won half of the battle simply by walking into the room with that kind of physique. Because imagine if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson walked into a party. He's smiling, he's freaking jacked. He looks around and he sees everybody and he smiles. That commands your attention. He's got a magnetic personality, and half of that is because he has a big, strong body that commands your attention. So listen, you don't have to look like a supermodel.
Okay, you don't have to look like Superman, but then you're telling everybody to look like the fucking, excuse me, the Rock. Okay, guys, you're not gonna look like the Rock. Most guys are not. Okay, you're just not. Yeah, you should be in shape. Got it. That's what he should be saying, but not. But then he says, "Oh, you don't have to be a superhero." But then you just built in everybody's mind, you gotta be this Rock. You
Well,
know how
but
much time that takes?
he said, "Oh, you've got to get in elite shape." Well, the elite is the top 5% of any group you care to look at. So every man has to become the top 5%. It's a mathematical nonsense. Um,
Well,
and that's what Nick is saying. Do you need to be? Look, if you walk into a room with confidence, and look, I have seen guys who are wildly overweight do this. They walk into the room, their shoulders back, they've got they've got open expression on their face, open body language. You know, these men, they can weigh 200 plus pounds, 250 plus, okay, maybe even 300, but they walk in and they own the room. Physique can be a proxy for that. But good God, how many times have we in the Red Pill had to talk about these guys in the absolute peak physical shape of their lives getting destroyed by women because everyone mistakes physique for charisma
or for dominance. So this is a good segue into our next point, which is going to be money, muscles, and game. So you can pick more than one flavor out of the pack. You can put both in your mouth and suck on both of them. But somehow, the point is, if God had this woman designed for you, destined for you, and you marry her, somehow you have to keep up your fitness so she will still be attracted to you. Now, yes, I know being fit, that's a duty you owe to yourself. Now, but I wonder if this same guy is telling his wife to stay fit. Or if he would say, well, she's going to put on a few pounds after the kid. Yeah, you need to love her anyway. If you have an obligation to stay fit as a man, yeah, she has an obligation to stay fit. And since you're the leader, you're the head, you need to tell her that. But do you think this guy's going to do that?
Nah, no. Staying fit is a useful thing, but there's another thing about the way this guy talks about it that Nick, it kind of reminds me of idolatry. It's like the only way to keep the girl is to make yourself an idol, because he keeps talking about The Rock, right? So the only way to keep the woman is to make yourself into something that she can idolize.
There's no hypergamy insurance. We've mentioned that before. Like,
right.
There's things you can do to help to, minimize your chances. Being fit might be one of those few things on the spectrum, but look, end of the day, she has agency, and it's her decision to leave you. Her decision not to sleep with you. Okay.
Well,
there you go.
I was thinking about this a little more recently, and if you make your entire life about one of the four, so we have money, muscles, game, and frame, right? If you make your entire life about one of those four, you will attract women who only care about that thing. So if you make your entire life about money, you're going to attract the gold diggers, and she will leave you the moment that she can get access to a higher level than you. That's true for money. That's true for muscles. That's true for game. It's even somewhat true for frame, although there's so few guys out there that have it that it's going to be hard for her to find somebody else who can outframe a guy who's got strong frame. So there you're kind of playing the odds, but all of these things, if you make your life about that one thing, all you will find is women who only care about that one thing, and then she'll ditch you the moment she finds something better. Why? Because her life is all about maximizing access to that one thing. Okay? How many fucking times have we seen videos of women who have access to phenomenal lives, and they meet a guy who's got just a little bit more, and it's like you can see their brains go blank.
Or
Brett Cooper,
or the Tom Brady situation.
Tom Brady's another one. Yes,
I mean, the guy is an athlete. He's a stud, beautiful. He's handsome. He's got money. He's well spoken.
Yes.
I mean, man, what a catch. But his wife left him. Okay, she had a lot of money on her own, so she didn't need him, of course. But she met a man much, much poorer with less status and all that. But somehow she thought he was better because he was more alpha, probably more physical with her.
Well, yeah,
He was
well,
her
martial
jujitsu
arts.
coach.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
okay, she did not
your
value
woman doing that with a man.
Yes.
She did not value the superficial things, which by all measure, Tom Brady had in spades.
Right. Do not make your life about things that you think will attract women. Money, muscles, and game. If you make your life about that, she will leave you for the next guy up who has just a little bit more of whatever.
Well, we better move on to the next video, Money, Muscles, Game.
Okay.
About it.
You receive what you put in, or you get out what you put in. What I would suggest is that if for maximum success, I would focus on building muscle first, making money, and then attracting girls. Really, you can do the first two at the same time, because really, if you lift weights, let's say 3 times a week, and you lift for 1 hour to 1 hour and a half sessions per workout, that's anywhere from 3 hours to, let's say, 4.5 hours per week. That's really nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of extremely fit guys that make a decent amount of money. Okay. They're nice guys.
They're simps.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick. If you're fit and you have money and a little bit of game, can you get a woman?
Yeah.
Anytime you want. It's not that hard.
With those 3 things, can you keep a woman?
No.
I would actually.
There are 2 things here. There's a task of getting a woman, which all the men are focused on. I just want to get a woman. Once I have her, I'll just keep her. No, it's more work, or as much work of a different type, keeping her than it is getting her.
Look, money, muscles, and game are all necessary to keep a woman. But remember, those are the things that brought her into your house. Okay? Those are a minimum. You can call them a minimum. But remember, all that did was brought her. And so what that means is that anybody else who has more of those than you do can bring her? What keeps her? Well, so many of these dudes are, as Nick said, simps. What keeps her is not being a simp. We call that frame. Okay. MMG can bring women to your table, doorstep, whatever you want to call it. Okay. It will not keep them there because those are things that bring women. They don't keep, it doesn't keep them. It helps it to have a lot of money to keep them, but it's not a guarantee. See Gisele Bündchen and Tom Brady. Same with muscles. The dude's a freaking tier 1 athlete with enough Super Bowl rings to, melt down and start your own gold store, right? Like the guy is ripped and he's probably in better shape than many of these dude bros pushing muscle because he can run and these guys would get gassed halfway down the football field because all they do is muscle, right? And same with game. Now, I'm not going to say Brady has a lot of game. The guy is such an obvious simp that it hurts. But that's the point. Gisele left him for a nobody who didn't do that.
So there's another analogy from training, martial arts primarily. You train and you learn the moves. Call that, becoming a pickup artist. You learn the moves, the lines to use, whatever you want to say. Learning any skill. You learn to do the basics and you do them consciously. But then mastery becomes when it develops into a core competence, which means you don't even have to think about it. Someone throws a punch, your arm comes up, deflects it. You didn't even think about it. It's muscle memory. It's core competence. It's dominance. It's mastery. It's being on your own mission. And it's much beyond money, muscles, and game. Yes, it's important. It's a path to mastery, to dominance, but it's not the end goal.
And look, like what Steve said, it's not the end goal. That's a mastery. It could give you some sort of. It's okay. Let's talk about money. I'm sorry, guys. Not everyone here is going to make $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million plus a year. Most of you aren't going to make 6 figures a year.
And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because a woman will happily live with a guy who's making $50,000 to $70,000 a year in an apartment if she's satisfied with him, if he's dominant enough, if he's on his mission, and be dissatisfied with the millionaire who has all the money in the world. And there are plenty of examples of women who have left rich men to be with a poor man. Money is not the magnet that you think it is. Okay, yeah, I'm not saying don't have money. I'm not saying don't work, don't provide. I'm not saying any of that. But again, it's not that primary criteria that women will use to evaluate or stay with a man.
Hey, Steve, this kind of reminds me, this is an older trope, but it still checks out, I think. It's back in the 2000s, particularly, there was this trope running around about, the hot woman with the sort of stereotypical surfer boyfriend, right? He doesn't make a lot of money. Yeah. He doesn't make a lot of money. His apartment's a disaster, but he's such a free spirit. Well, there's an interesting thing about this free spirit thing that I don't think has been talked about a lot. And that is the free spirit can't be controlled. And a lot of these stories revolve around the woman trying to control him and then getting fed up with him when they do. But that free spirit is kind of another way of saying the guy is absolutely about his thing, in this case, surfing. And he does not place her above his mission, which is to find the perfect wave. I realize that to a lot of people, this sounds, like, oh, but that's just so weak and gay coded and all. Yeah, fine. But the point here is that woman, and these women were usually good-looking women, would rather hang out with somebody who made no money, but was about his mission, even if his mission was just finding the best wave, because it's not because he didn't care about her, but it's because he had a higher purpose and he did not make her higher purpose. And so she felt that he had value, that he valued something greater. Shoe. Yeah, same exact thing. Same exact thing. Skateboards. Yeah, and it was back when that was a popular thing. Being a skateboarder, man, the women could just you'd have to pull them off with pry bars. It's the same thing. Now, do you have to be in good shape to skateboard and yes, you do. These are not bad looking men, but it's a mistake to think that these women are with these men because of their looks. Go look at the stories women wrote about them. Yeah, they talk about the looks, but the story revolved around trying to tame the free spirit.
But women don't fall for those free-spirited band leaders who play a guitar and all that. They don't fall for them.
Go ask Rolo.
Yeah, Rolo would like to have a word with you. Worked pretty well for him. Well, what did Rolo say? That he was banging some hot chick with a house. Well, all he had was a truck and his guitars. Like
Saying to do that, guys.
No. Correct.
We're not talking about what happened.
The point is, women are attracted to men on their own mission.
Correct.
Not on a mission to serve her. Okay,
correct.
This is a delusion that so damn many men have. Oh, I'll just figure out how to attract and serve a woman by having money, muscles, and game, so she'll want me. Oh, I'll be the religious guy, and God will just bring this woman into my life because I deserve it. Or I will be so nice. I will be such the nice guy, and she just will see that, man, this is the nicest guy I've ever encountered. I want to marry him. And all
her
these
downstairs
traits
will be drier than the Sahara Desert.
But guys, men believe that doing these things will get them women.
They'll get them used by women. It might get used by a woman for resources and kids, and then kicked to the curb for the next guy and enslaved for child support and alimony while she's out banging Chad from next door.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, okay, we're not done with our flavors here. So let's say I tried being the nice guy, and that didn't get me women. Then I tried being the religious guy, and that didn't get me women. And I tried the money, muscles, and game, and I got a couple women, but they weren't worth having, and they left. What should I do next?
Well, Steve.
Oh, I know. It's all the Western women that are bad.
Oh, exactly. Clearly, if being a nice guy, being a religious guy, and being a muscles and money game guy doesn't work, clearly the problem is not with me now. It must be with all these women. So, Steve, I need to go east, young man.
Okay.
Okay, guys. as you can guess, I have a lot to say on this subject. But the video is also like 12 minutes long. So, Steve, you'll have to tell me how long you want to run it.
I don't know. We're the longest one in the bunch, but it's a pretty good video. We'll listen to the first few minutes. We don't have to listen to the whole thing.
Tacticus, you sound like you know what you're talking about. That's all I have to say on this comment. All right. Let's put this up there.
Forward 5 to 10 years when these Western issues isn't just in the West.
Dude, they're already everywhere else. That's the crazy part. That 5 to 10 year gap is disappearing.
We have talked about this. Elena and I have talked about this. If you go to Moscow right now, and good luck with that, lol, you're going to find out that feminism is more in your face there than it is here.
What about St. Petersburg?
Same thing.
But it sounds
different coat of paint.
I thought they're Russian, they're Eastern Orthodox over there. Doesn't that fix all the problems?
No. Sorry, guys.
Oh, Andrew Wilson, I'm sorry.
Yeah, being Eastern Orthodox does not mean it. There's this idea amongst the religious that you can use religion as a pry bar to make women into something that they're not. And the funny thing is, if you go east and you talk to guys, Slavic guys, all of them will just laugh and laugh at this because they deal with these women all the time. Okay. This idea that well, yes, Elena, feminism was born in Russia or in St. Petersburg. There's actually quite a bit of truth to that. So it's like, but the Russian dudes will just laugh and because they know how difficult their own women are. They're used to it. Okay, we can keep going. I'm probably going to stop this one a lot though because I have the control.
A little bit. Sorry.
The 5 to 10 year gap already happened 5 to 10 years ago. Like Southeast Asia's shit. You're getting garbage, dumpster level quality women. They're all expecting shit from all the passport bros and expats living there. Balkans, 20 years back already. It's developed too much. I made it work because I went back to home. I wasn't passing through. My woman, we ended up finding out she's part Romanian anyways. Like the cultural friction doesn't exist. I went back to where my people are originally from. In the culture, stayed within the culture. Like that, it takes a lot of shit to make this work. For you to go out into a foreign land completely, like racially, you're just adding to the difficulty. Like, yeah, if some dudes want to get, seen as like exotic, fetishized in that sense, by all means, bro, you go do that. But if you're looking for something long-term, marriage, a traditional lifestyle, by definition, tradition is not interracial. I'm just being honest. A lot of people get butthurt when they hear that shit. But hey, you want the highest chance of success? Well, you got to lower the friction. Okay, which means same religion, same culture, same people, a lot of the shit's got to be the same. But
guys, I cannot state just how right that guy is on this. It took a lot of extra effort on my part to be able to make it work with Elena. My brain had to work at a higher speed because not only am I trying to translate her bad English, and she is an ESL, and she has good English for an ESL person, but she makes mistakes all the time. I also have to translate her culture that's informing those statements. And I had done, and I've said this before, I had done thousands of hours of research, but I also grew up around Russians. Okay. And my brain was in overdrive. Now she can say, oh, well, I didn't notice. Yeah, right. You didn't notice that I was, that's because I was working that hard at keeping up. And that's what he's talking about. That's that extra friction that it takes. when you have a conversation with an American woman, you have a cultural background. Let's say you're in the church, okay? You have a shared church background. There are so many conversations that your brain just shortcuts, that it can heuristically go, oh, that's where we're going, okay? And you get there and your brain stops working. There is none of this when you go out passport broing. You have to do all the work.
Let me illustrate this in a religious way. I'll compare Catholics to Orthodox. Catholics have the Western flavor of Christianity. Orthodox have the Eastern. It's a completely different way of viewing Christianity in the world. Now, Catholics, their mindset is actually closer to Protestants. So, yeah, you can kind of talk to each other, but a Catholic vocabulary and definitions are different than a Protestant evangelical's definitions of the same words. It's different. You cannot, it just doesn't work. Now, if I tried to talk to a Hindu, their view, their reality, their foundation is different. They're going to view things, think entirely different. Or I go to Japan, Shinto, or whatever, or Islam. They have a completely different thought process. It's if you don't even fathom this difference, you are in for a world of hurt.
Now, if your goal is to just go over and to Southeast Asia and bang lots of women, none of this applies to you. Okay? Because
you should do that.
We're not saying you should, but if your goal is short-term relationships, then none of what I'm talking about applies to you. You can work past the language differences, decide you want to bang, do the thing because that doesn't require talking, and move on. But if you're looking for an actual relationship, which is what the passport bros are looking for, we would not call you a passport bro if you're just looking to go, cut a swath through some foreign population of women. Passport bros the passport is the thing that they are using to find a woman. That is the strategy to find a woman.
Like it's saying,
you're going to go.
Oh, no, like he's saying, these women know what's up now. It's not. They've encountered this so many times. They're also connected to the internet. They know what's going on.
Well, and here's the thing. These women know what American women are doing, and they know that if they behave differently, they can lock up an economic golden ticket out of their, and so, out of their situation to the US, to Europe, wherever. And
hey, is that hypergamy?
Yes. No, Steve, women would never do that. So passport broing has become infested with gold diggers. Does that mean that every woman you encounter doing this is going to be a gold digger? No. Are there some who are legitimately looking for a real relationship? Of course. But remember what this guy's talking about with this friction thing. You have to do all of your vetting now, okay, with a person who speaks bad English and has a different culture. So you might ask them a question and you might get an answer that you go, huh? Because they didn't understand what you were talking about. Either they didn't understand the English you used, or culturally, you can get these reactions that are just like, well, why do you care? Like, why? What does that matter? Why is that? Just, and then you'll get other reactions like, foreign women tend to be more sexually open. We know this. That's why passport bros are doing this. So you can ask questions of them that they'll just answer, and Western women would be horrified that they answered. But to them, it's that's a cultural difference.
Women will always trade sex for what they want. Always. I mean, it's their ace in the hole. It's their trump card. It's what they have to bring to the table. So they're always willing to do that. So if you are this rich American going overseas and you dress nice, even if you're a fat slob and you're an American, you are a magnet for gold diggers. How are you going to vet these women? They put on their best game for you. This sweet thing that, oh, damn, she is just fine looking and oh, so submissive and attentive and all that. How are you going to discern whether she's real or a gold digger?
Once she touches his pee-pee.
Well, that's what Shu was saying here. Foreign women playing 40 chess on clueless beta men. Yeah, it's a very real thing. If you go east, Asia or the Slavic countries, and you don't have frame, these women are going to take every dollar you have. Oh, they'll trade sex for it. They
the men who go over there to do that are the very men without the attributes and game to get a domestic woman. So they're even less equipped to deal with this.
Right. And so Steve, the next question I often get is, so, if you had, why didn't you just get an American woman? Clearly you have the frame and money to go outside of the country. And guys, I've talked about how much it costs to do that. We joke about the high-end sports car that I could buy if I hadn't, gone and met Elena, right?
Sports car sounds nice.
Well, so guys always ask, so why did you do that? And I'd love to tell you that it was some sort of, oh, well, I thought I was going to get a sweeter, nicer. No, I was actually under no illusions about that. That she was going to be sweeter, nicer, more trad, whatever. And you guys know Elena, she's many things. Trad ain't one of them. It's like, no, I did that because, frankly, I find American women disgusting. And not just disgusting physically, although that is a thing. American women are the Western women are not doing themselves any favors. But I knew that I could handle the Slavic mindset. Remember, I did grow up around it. I had studied it quite a bit, just reading but talking with Slavic men, like I had some understanding of what I was getting into. And there is a bit of a numbers game here on the physical side. There are more good-looking Eastern women, both Asian and Slavic and otherwise, than there are in the United States. And these women tend, particularly if you stick to the rural regions, although this is getting a lot harder on the internet, they tend to take better care of themselves. Well, yeah, issue exactly. I had to have all of those things. Could I have done this could I have used those things on an American woman? I absolutely could have. But
the numbers were not where you wanted.
Frankly, it was going to be easier to apply that to the pool, the global pool, than it would be the local pool. Guys, that's your answer.
You know who talked about that in our last? We talked about this in a book. I was in Cappy's book in last week's stream. I don't think we talked about that in Cappy's book, but it was in there. He talks about the pools of women.
Well,
And he
he's
did a
right.
numbers game. He says it's just slightly better. It's slightly better.
Right. You're okay. If my odds in the United States are 1% and my odds outside of the United States are 2%, take the odds outside the United States, right? Are they still slim
Yeah.
odds? Yes. But
right.
I don't even think that was your calculus. I think you gave the clue or the answer in your first statement. You're just like for American women. Do you find American women vapid?
Yes.
Okay. So you avoided them. And okay, I discard all these. Now let me look elsewhere, knowing the risks elsewhere. Is Elena vapid?
No.
And I would agree with you. She's challenging. She's a woman. It's a lot of effort. She's got all those female attributes that all women have.
Yep.
She's not a vapid woman. And she has actually quite a bit of humility, which is a rare thing in American women.
Well, and it's those traits where playing the numbers game becomes to your advantage. Because Steve, as you noted, not vapid and has some humility is a rare thing. Well, you are gonna have a better chance of that outside of the US. Because in the US, we gas our women up so hard, just my God, that these women that the concept of humility is abusive.
Let's keep watching.
See some passport bro going over to Southeast Asia. They're paying for sex, got a bunch of whores around them. And then you're over here like, wow, I'm going to do that. They're never with quality women. Their interracial relationships are fucking struggling. The culture clash is real. The parents don't accept them. They fucking hate them. The parents look down on them. All they get treated as a walking wallet. You're tolerated. That's the brutal truth. They tolerate you because you have money, because you're bringing them up out of poverty. Now, nobody wants to say this shit out loud because we have an incentive with the passport bros. Their content depends on selling you going over there and doing well.
Absolutely true. Family acceptance is brutally hard to get. And I'm not going to say a whole lot on that, but you are a walking wallet to the family. I'm sorry, guys. It's just the fucking truth.
It's like, I already been there. I done that, bro. I'm not making money off this shit. I could speak to you honestly, brutally so. My conscience is clean. I'm telling you what the fuck works and what doesn't, what I seen. When I was telling guys about that racial shit and the nationalism and all, they got fucking burnt, bro. No, that's not fucking true. You're a racist. You can't be saying that. You have no idea what it's like. Me and my mixed race relationships doing fine. It's like, bro, you're facilitating the dream of her entire family. Calm down, dude. Jesus Christ. If it works for you, it works, dude. No thanks. Just being real here. I'm not going to go overseas to make my fucking life harder. You're a gaijin in their eyes, yeah. Let me see if this clip and shit works here. Yeah, like dudes are, it's not racist to tell the truth, but it hurts people's feelings. Like the people that are overseas in relationships hearing that right now are going to be completely coping. My relationship is different. I'm built different.
They found the unicorn.
No, they didn't. And look, guys,
they all tell themselves that.
Well, here's the thing. Part of the research that I did was looking at the possible drawbacks of this. And there are places on the internet, if you choose to look for them, that will describe exactly what he's talking about. These men are... what he's actually describing here is kind of this white knight mentality that these men get about their relationships, right? They have to defend it. And there's a reason why you don't see guys like him and me defending it. Okay? Because this is hard. This is the hardest thing you will ever do. This is harder than getting a woman out of your local area. And you are going to be You're going to be Stockholmed in by the family of a bit. That's kind of what he's talking about here. Is you kind of turn into a Stockholm subject or Stockholm syndrome subject.
So I think we can stop watching this. He's going to make one more point, and I'll just make it for him. So if you don't know this guy's history, I think he lives in Romania. He was born in Romania. His family moved to the U.S. So he grew up in the U.S. He was a successful guy in the U.S. Construction, carpentry, something like that. Did well for himself. And then moved back to Romania. I think he brought his parents back there, found a wife there, and is now making his life there. By all measure, he's a handsome man, very successful, or moderately successful, however you want to measure that. Now he's back there. So he is also an internet guy. He's been doing YouTube for a while. He had a bigger channel that just kind of maybe was quashed with some of the censorship, but he's still out there. So now he participates. And guess what? He participates on the Reddit forums, the Passport Bros on Reddit. Guess what happened? They didn't like what he was saying. And so he got booted from there. Oh, this is hilarious.
The Passport Bro got
I'm not
booted.
surprised.
What happens if you're in the Christian community and you start pointing out some truths that the Christians don't like?
Well,
what happens?
They
Nick?
booted me. They booted me and my friends. We were all eventually found the door out of NAPARC, which you could think is like Presbyterian Church in America, Orthodox Presbyterian Church. Yeah, we started saying the truth, and all the women started shrieking, and all the white knights, how dare you speak the truth and make these women blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, we were right. Bunch of cucks.
Okay, so what happens if you're part of the red pill community and you start pointing out the flaws in Money Muscle's game?
Not so much. Don't.
Get rid of that guy. Well, it's
Yeah.
happened. It's a little. It's happened in the past. What happens if you're a nice guy and you say you can't do that? Well, they turn against you. Okay, it happens in some flavors. It happens more often, but you can get alienated when you try and bring the truth to people and dissuade them from their delusions. That's my point.
Well, let's go back to ancient Israel. Did they really go after the kings as much? Did they go after the priests as much? Who did they persecute, and who did they slay?
Could it be the prophets?
Oh, the one telling them the truth. Yeah.
Isn't this where killing the messenger, don't kill the messenger, all that came from? Like, when we talk about things like the Money Muscles game guy, and we say, yeah, that's really not going to work. Do we get hate for that? Yeah, we do. Do the Passport Bros like it when we come up and we say, yeah, that's not going to work? Or this is way harder than you're making it sound. This is a tribal group preference thing. Now, the interesting thing about the red pill is a series of observational truths around which there have become different groups of men with different answers to the problems generated by those truths. Okay. Money Muscle's game is an answer just like PUA was a big answer for a long time. It's not as much anymore. I mean, I know the media makes a big deal about it, but really, the media is just out of touch with everything. So
it was considered the solution. And the red pill manosphere is pretty much decided, well, no, it's not the solution. Oh, those skills are good. Now it's just, have game. But it's not a pickup artist thing anymore. We didn't totally, as a manosphere red pill, we didn't say, no, don't even bother. No, it's just a part of the solution. It's not the entire solution.
What everyone's looking for is an integrated solution where all of the truths are dealt with. Okay. And so Money Muscle's game very definitely deals with some of the truths. And so that's why we say, no, you need to go do those things. You just can't make your life about those things because you'll run into not the truth you didn't account for. And that's the Tom Brady, Gisele Bundchen problem. The truth is it's not enough to have those things. You need to be fully integrated with all of the truths.
But needs to systemize this.
Nick.
We have one flavor left. And we're kind of turning. It's a full circle here. We're coming back to SFG.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what is SFG? Plutarch got it.
I did. Do you want me to say it, Steve?
No, I want to see if Nick can figure it out.
SFG. Oh, I don't know.
Sneaky.
Oh, a sneaky effort game.
So, okay. The last category, the last flavor is male feminist. And the reason I'm saying it's full circle is because we started out with Nice Guy, which was kind of sneaky fucker game. And so we're going to go to a male feminist. And this one's just going to be kind of a fun video.
I never hit my wife, even when I'm drunk. If a lady's got moxie, I believe she can even become a medical doctor. I allow my daughter to make eye contact with boys and men. My wife wasn't even a virgin when we met, and I'm almost fine with that. After our wedding, I allowed her to wait almost a year before I impregnated her. My daughter's fat, and I've never told her how much it bothers me. I believe we men shouldn't have extramarital affairs. Hey, pal! Sometimes women do have good ideas.
Okay, Steve. But it's so true.
I don't know if that fits the theme or not, but it was just too funny not to use.
Well, but see, that's the thing. Male feminists specifically, it really is a sneaky fucker game, because note how he's ticking the boxes of all the things the women say. He's ticking all the equality boxes, right? And all the, the things women say they care. Oh, I let my daughter make eye contact with men, which, by the way, is a thing that was not allowed in common practice up until the the early 1900s. It's like, so the women, that is all feminist stuff. And why is he doing this? Well, because she demands it.
Oh, and plus he thinks by doing this, he's going to get laid. Why do you think there were so many male protesters in Minneapolis, along with all the white Karens.
Sneaky fucker game.
They might have a chance.
Yep. But you're telling me there's a chance, to quote that famous movie. Which, and if you know the scene that I'm referring to, you know how applicable it is to what we're talking about.
Some are dumb and some are dumber.
But that's how these guys, that's how your modern beta feminist guy thinks. But you're telling me there's a chance. And the problem is, it works just enough for them to think that it'll work. They get just enough attention. Some of them might even get their peen just a little bit wetted, right? And these are rare things to have happen. And occasionally one of these guys gets married, but then, like what he said, I let her I wait a full year before impregnating her. Like, these guys are not out there having, monkey sex, right? So they're not getting a lot of it, but they're getting enough of it that they think the strategy works. And by that definition of working, they're actually not wrong. The reason men use SFG is because it works just enough to validate their political views and their desires. Although I would argue that it actually does fulfill their desires based on the divorce rates and the amount of cheating that goes on. But, they think it will. Actually, that's a pretty good way to say it, Elena. It's you see a similar thing on the other side with the whores. They get just that little bit of attention from an alpha Chad, and all of a sudden, that becomes their entire life. They think it'll work, for like, that strategy works now. Nope. Being a girl boss does not work for women.
We've come full circle. This guy essentially becomes the nice guy hoping for some leftovers or crumbs.
Yes.
If he's nice enough, if he conforms enough.
So we've gone through 5 flavors of male delusion. I think we've demonstrated quite well that all of this is in pursuit of getting laid or getting married and getting laid. It's all in pursuit of sex. So it's 5 flavors of the same damn thing. Now, what's another thing these guys all have in common? It's simple. They have made women their mission. They have not made their mission an independent mission and then invited a woman into their life and kept on their own mission. They've diverted their view towards, I am going to make myself the most attractive. I'm going to do what I can to attract the woman. She's my mission. That's my
complementarianism. That's what complementarianism did to much of the evangelical churches. It's a halfway house between, it's basically egalitarianism, but with more responsibility on the man. And basically, your woman, instead of you having your own mission and she has her mission, now actually she becomes your chief mission in life. And everything that you do is about being the servant leader that never really has any authority, and she doesn't really have to obey. So, yeah, you've made yourself the biggest simp ever. This is what most of the NAPARC, that's Orthodox Presbyterian Church, PCA, and others, have done. And it's not just that. You can even talk about the Southern Baptist Convention as well. They've made men into these pliable pieces of crap where woman is their mission.
Hey, but single mothers have done that even without the help of the church.
Sure. Explain.
So there's not a distinction between secular men and Christian men in their pursuit or what they're trying to do. Yeah, they may take a different flavor, but the outcome is very similar.
Well, we've done 5 flavors. Anything you want to add on the last one?
No, I just want to pat myself on the back because we're at 2 hours now and we finished our topic.
Wow.
Good, guys.
Yeah, we've done a string of long ones recently, haven't we?
Yeah, we usually go 2.5, sometimes 3. That's usually our range.
Yeah, any more than that, and well, let's just say we're not young men.
Well, this was a fun stream.
It
It was
was.
pretty easy. I like drawing these parallels. It's just kind of a simple truth. Hopefully, those that watch, will see. Yeah, okay, that's a simple thought. Let me look at it that way. Nothing complex here tonight.
So what's the answer that we really talked about that's been missing in all 5?
Are you asking like what's the overarching theme that men are missing? Is because I can
I
go
think
2 ways with this.
Money Muscle's Game, I think, was the closest one, but still missing. And
Well,
you can be over obsessed on Money Muscle's Game. It's important. That's probably the only one that's been kind of close to being
Successful.
right out of all of these. But what's the thing that's been missing to get rid of this male delusion? And it's one of your favorite phrases. I mentioned it last week. We
I
talked
mentioned
about it.
Hierarchy.
Well,
Hierarchy. And the man, his pursuit
Dominant
is
masculine
his
presence.
mission. And the man serves God. He doesn't serve his wife. Oh, yeah, he provides for his wife. But his focus has to be on his mission. Whatever he chooses that to be.
Well,
That's how I describe it.
I was going to say dominant masculine presence. Just or if you want to knock it down to one word, frame. There doesn't need to. Oh, go ahead.
I said explain.
Look, at the end of the day, money, muscles, and game, they can get you the woman, but they can't keep it. Frame might keep the woman if you can keep your frame. Okay? Might. Because remember, she still has agency. I can't promise you guys anything. Okay? She can just, okay, women have hormones. Their hormones change. She can literally wake up one day, decide you smell bad now, and that she can't be around you, and she's gone. Okay? Sad truth, but it is what it is. Okay? I can't stop that. But if you are going to have any success, not just attracting women, but keeping them around for an extended period of time, if that's how, look, some men choose to say that just notch count is success. Then yeah, all you need is money, muscles, game, because you'll be able to stack notch count. But if success is getting and keeping a woman, then I don't care how much money, muscles, and game you have. Without frame, I'm sorry, you're not going to keep her. And you certainly will not be getting monkey sex.
There you go. That's what I was looking. Very well put. Steve wasn't wrong either. I'm done.
Is that it? I think that's
Yep,
it.
I'm done.
Done.
Right at the 2 minute mark or the 2 hour mark. Love it. Okay. No idea what's up for next week. I do know that Elena on Saturday wants to do something in the same vein as this. I think, Steve, you said, what would you call it? The 5 flavors of female delusion?
Yeah, well, she's got some work to do to define those.
I'm okay. Question,
That's going to be
Steve.
hard work.
It is, because she's going to have to only choose 5 out of the millions of possibilities.
And here's the other problem. Women have a hard time coming up with abstract categories that can capture the main points. They come up with behaviors. Well, she can do this, 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 and then the list becomes 15.
Yes.
And Helena's a woman, and she's going to have a hard time categorizing those 15 into 5 categories. This is not a criticism. It's just a description of reality.
And so she's not going to sleep this week. Yay. She's so fun when she doesn't sleep. Are you guys getting the sarcasm? And
I am, yeah.
See what you've done, Steve?
Well, if I put my mind to it, probably by tomorrow I could come up with the 5 categories.
Yeah, but she needs to do this exercise, because she is very much an all the words person. She must put all the descriptive words in a thing. And so she needs to be broken of that habit. But yeah, no, so that'll be Saturday. Next week for our show.
Is it my turn?
It probably is. Shu was asking for information about the Iranian stuff, and Shu, I know I told you on Twitter, but I will tell the rest of the audience that my experience with the Ukraine war is you need to wait a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, before quality information becomes available at all to start making analysis. So,
smart guys say wait 48 hours before you comment on any particular event.
Yes.
True. But this thing is okay. They're commenting on events, and the rest is speculation. I don't even know what this whole thing is about. There are about 3 different theories out there that I kind of agree with, but those theories are different. So I have no idea. Time will tell. Maybe in 2 weeks we'll know something.
Right.
But we don't need to speculate, because it would be as much crap as everyone else is talking about.
Yes. So Shu, we will talk about it. There are definitely things that we are all tracking here that we're paying attention to. There's some domestic stuff going on. There's a lot to go to pull together on this one, and giving more time, I think, will give a lot of illumination. And frankly, as general advice to men, I would say do not get caught up in the emotionalism of the moment. What we are trying to do here with how we run our channel is show men what a rational, non-emotional man can do with his brain, but what it takes to do it. You have to have that emotional self-control to step back and say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to seek more information. I am not just going to react to whatever the latest tidbit is. Okay? All of our social media, all of our political life is about pushing us to react immediately. Do not give them that.
We had an episode called Ignore the Spectacle.
Yes. Please go watch that. It's way, way back in our catalog.
We've done an episode on damn near anything that relates to what we want to say.
And yet we can't seem to run out of topics to talk about. Man, Ignore the Spectacle is way back there, guys. I keep forgetting just how long we've been doing this. So Nick will come up with something for next week because Nick always comes up with something interesting. And we're going to wait a while on the geopolitical stuff. I mean, we did just do a geopolitics episode, but people have questions about this latest incident. So, and the point we were trying to make with that past series was really not about geopolitics. It was about the United States. So anyway, that's what we've got coming up. So no one has anything else to say. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I know I've been horrible about getting back to them because, frankly, I've been just slammed busy with stupid shit, and it's also tax season. So, other than that, please share this video with other men who need to hear it. There's a lot of men, particularly in the church, who need to hear what's in this video. And maybe there's some passport bros and some MMG guys out there who need to hear this too. But I don't think we can help the nice guys and male feminists that much, honestly. So, I mean, send it to them if you think it'll help, but we wouldn't expect much. So yeah, with that, we will see you all Saturday if you want to show up for that, and next Wednesday if you don't. Later.
There was a firefight! Son of a bitch!